Hey guys, welcome back to another little mini chit chat video. Welcome back to another little mini reaction video. Before we go ahead and get into tonight's topic, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, all of that good stuff. Shout out to everyone who's already subscribed. Thank you so much for doing so. We do appreciate you guys. Shout out to our Purple Heart gang. Thank you guys for all of your support. You will see this video once it re-uploads to YouTube if you didn't have a chance to catch the live. Okay, so for tonight's late night chit chat video, I wanted to kind of piggyback off where I pick up where I left off, talking about the whole AI situation, but not really so much so the AI, more so the massive layoffs. These companies are firing people en masse, like 14,000 here, 7,000 there, like in the thousands, right? Just laying off a whole bunch of people right before the holidays. Okay. So um the companies that are laying off all of these workers, they're actually companies that are making huge profits. So they're not in the red. It's not a situation where they can't afford to keep the people or to pay them or anything like that. These companies are making $1 trillion profits. We talked about it earlier in the video that they're trying to free up cash to fuel and fund their AI aspirations. So with that being said, it just kind of left me thinking a little bit about it. Like all these skilled workers that are laid off, got engineers, designers, people, high tech people, all this type of stuff. There was no, like, you could tell it wasn't a situation where they even cared about keeping them in the workforce or like integrating them into other departments, retraining them into other parts of the business. Like there was no kind of plan B for the workers. It was just the email or the text in the morning, you're done, your career is over, we no longer need you. And that's just so wow. Like they had no intentions of like repurposing the people. It was just strictly to gut them, fire them, and discard them. That's it. No after what comes next, or no new phase of your career. You see, years ago when we started talking about AI and how working, they tried to sell it that it was going to be some type of symbiotic relationship between you and the AI, like you'd be working hand in hand. And as slowly as time has gone on, we get to see like there is no working with the AI. It's just that's not never their plan. Their plan was to have you design the AI, create the AI, help them implement the AI, and then discard the workforce. Um, and I guess going into this, they didn't realize how expensive it was going to be to build all these data centers and all these other things. So they need the constant flow of cash. So fire a bunch of people, claw back the salaries, you save how much billions of dollars, and they can get to go ahead and continue to fund their AI growth. Um, I just, it's just crazy when you think about it that there was nothing put in place for the workers. Usually, companies like highly skilled people up in upper management, middle management, wherever have you. Usually when companies are doing like layoffs, these people are sometimes repurposed. They're put into different divisions or they're put on different teams. They're kind of reintegrated into the company and given like new roles and stuff like that. This was not done. This time around, it was just a mass firing of so many people. So, where are all these people gonna go now? Like, people are starting to talk about, that. they've been looking for work for a really, really long time. Like some of them is years. And these are highly skilled people. The work just isn't there. Like, so why, even if you didn't want them in the company anymore and the government was aware that this was coming, why not put something in place so people can, okay, have something to look forward to doing after the layoff? Like they can go back to school, they can retrain, they can, um, because there is going to be a whole other area of work and study created that has to do with AI. The maintenance of these systems, there's going to need people to maintain these databases, all that stuff. So, in some shape or form, you're still going to have human interaction. So, why not retrain the skilled workers you already have in the field that you're going into instead of just discarding the workforce without a contingency plan for the people who are now left kind of holding the bag. And this is the worst time. The economy is literally so terrible. Where did they expect these people to get another job? Like there are no other jobs. Hey, hi, thanks for joining the live. There are no jobs out there right now. Recruiters are having a hard time coming up with stuff. Even one person said that they've been getting job offers, but they're lowballing. So this is another thing that just shows you another dark side, the underbelly of business, right? Lowball people, the highly skilled people, get them for a dime on the dollar, right? Because they know people are desperate. People want to get back to work as quickly as possible. The holidays are coming up. Nobody wants to go into the new year with all of this hanging around them. So of course, people are going to be jumping at any type of job offer. So now they're going to be gouging out the knowledge pool for little and nothing. And if you don't want what we're offering, there's like 10,000 other people lined up outside who will gladly take the wages that we're offering. So that's another downside to all of this re-entering the workforce when you have people who are literally preying on people who are unemployed and they know that they're living in a sense of urgency. So that's something else that's happening. It's really sad as you the more this comes out, and it's like the more companies are laying off people, it's the more you're getting to see like this was definitely not planned out with the worker in mind. There's like no plans for the workers. They're just out there unemployed. There is no plans for them to re-enter the workforce or retraining or anything like that. Nothing was offered, just a cold letter of termination. So I don't know where these thousands of people are supposed to go. um a lot of people are talking about they've received like eviction notices already. um That's crazy. Like, why create all of this crisis? Like, you're gonna have people homeless. Winter's coming. We already have snow here in Canada, where I am in Canada anyway. It snowed already, our first snowfall. So I can just imagine in places, where it's a lot cold. Well, same type of season. It's gonna be winter, and people shouldn't have to be worrying about where they're gonna lay their heads. Like, I don't think people understand like the magnitude of the loss. Like I've been laid off before in my 20s when I was younger and I worked in a corporate, and this was right after 9/11, and a lot of people were laid off. The only good news for me was that I had worked for so many years that I had a good amount of unemployment insurance. I think I collected EI for at least a year, or more. I think it was like 15 months. So, I wasn't strapped for cash. We were getting, because we made good money back then. This is like the late 1990s, 2000s, when we were making really good money. you were paid half of your wages when you went on unemployment. So I was still making good money even though I wasn't working. These days, you barely get anything from unemployment if you do qualify. It's a very strenuous process to even apply for EI. I don't know what the process is in the States. Over here, it's full of a lot of bureaucracy and red tape, and you got to jump through hoops and fill out this and lots and tons of forms. Lots of waiting, lots of can't get a hold of anyone on the phone, talking to bots. It's just very frustrating. Even collecting your unemployment insurance is a hassle. So it's just all stress. And this is the worst time of year for people to be going through this stuff. I remember when the year started, I kind of had a feeling that, we were on a downward trajectory. And I remember telling my family, we're going to have to tighten up a little bit this year. This was the first year that we didn't make vacation plans. We just kind of went with the flow. It's the first year, well, not the first year, but it's the first year we deliberately didn't book a trip due to cost. It's just everything is just way too expensive and it's just not worth it for me. I rather save the money, invest the money, do something else with it. I'm not gonna be overspending on trips and all that stuff. So we were very frugal. We tried to be very frugal this year. Um, just because you just don't know when the next shoe is gonna drop. Even though yes, I work a quote unquote traditional job, and yes, I do entrepreneurial and there's social media and all of that stuff. All of that stuff is very tenuous. You know, you kind of you make your money, you pay your bills, you maintain your lifestyle, you have all these responsibilities and all these things, and all of it takes money to keep it moving. You can't just have a business, not have money to run the business, maintain the business. Then you have to have money to take care of your household and all this. There's tons of responsibilities, and so you have to be, you know what I mean? You have to be extra, extra careful these days. You can't even plan for the future. Like we used to take so much pleasure in I could plan out my whole year. We would plan out vacations, we would plan out like this, we're going to do that, we're going to buy this, we're going to do that. The last couple years we haven't been able to plan, not haven't been able to, but not wanting to because of the uncertainty. You just don't want to spend the money that you do have. You want to keep it for the rainy days that you know is surely going to come. Like it's such a different way of living, and sometimes you don't want to complain because, people in other parts of the world are living much worse. Um but you do have to keep in the context, like you live where you live and you have the responsibilities that you have where you live, and that's just what it is. Like people have worked super hard to afford certain type of lifestyles or to afford certain things, and when you lose that, like when that stream of income is just kind of ripped away without warning, it can be very, very detrimental. It can be very, very stressful. People can just have like a complete nervous breakdown. It's just so many things run through your mind in the moment that this loss of income is going to impact. For some people it can be overwhelming. Um so I just think it's really sad that, you know, these companies were not required to offer any type of off ramp for their employees, like whether it was retraining or integration into the company and other departments or anything like that. That usually is something that is done, especially when it's so high up the chain. But to see that that's not the case now, that's crazy. Let me know what you guys think down below. Do you think that they should have had something in place for the workers that they were going to lay off, some type of program retraining, um, other offers to integrate into the company in other divisions or whatever the case may be? Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. If you're keeping up with this whole massive layoff situation that's happening with Boeing and UPS and um, Target and Amazon, to name a few. Warner, is it Warner or Disney? I think it was Disney. Yeah, Disney as well. All these companies were traditionally known as being able to hold fast in the face of economic adversity. They 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 do have, shifts in corporate jobs and stuff like that, but not to this extent. This is just a massive gouging of the workforce. So this is something new, and it looks like we're not done. It seems like there will be more cuts to come, unfortunately. So yeah, let me know what you guys think about this whole situation down below. If you guys are keeping up with it, if you have an opinion on it, let me know what you think in the comments down below. Thank you so much for those of you who came by. We appreciate your time. Stay up and stay blessed, and we'll catch up with you guys in another video. Deuces.